and I'm just looking around me and trying to enjoy whatever I can, especially during this time. That's how you know I'm getting old. There's nothing wrong with getting old. It's not like you really have a choice, so you might as well enjoy the process, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so it's been a while since I picked up the camera. For you guys, at least, it looks like that. But I actually filmed 2 videos for this one, and I didn't upload them because I didn't really find them very entertaining. So what I'm thinking of doing is incorporating them into this one, so it kind of becomes this much larger film. And it doesn't make really sense right now, but it's gonna make a lot more sense later on. But a lot's been going on right now, especially with the virus. School got canceled. You can't even go outside anymore. They just made the law in Brampton as well. You can't go outside unless there's a specific reason why you're going outside. And it's different too, right? It's different because I'm not the only one being affected by this. You're not the only one being affected by this. Everybody in the whole world is being affected by this. So, like, what you do today, if you decide to go outside and party with your friends, that's not only gonna affect you, but it's gonna affect everybody around you, which will affect even more people. So what you do today, or what I do today, might affect somebody in a negative or a positive way, depending on what I do. And that's crazy. That's scary, but that's crazy. But yeah, hopefully you guys are safe. Hopefully you guys are staying home. That's the most important part right now. I've been quarantined for about, I'd say, almost 2 weeks now. And I haven't really found it that hard to do. I've actually had a really good time, I'm not gonna lie, staying home. Especially because I go downtown, okay? Think about this. I spend 3 hours every day approximately for 3 days out of the week. Or sorry, 3 days out of the week is when I go to school. And out of those 3 days, I spend 3 hours each day. So that's 9 hours in a week that I spend commuting. And haven't gone to school in 2 weeks, so that's 18 hours of free time. That's a lot of time. And so I've had a lot of time, but I've been trying to kind of keep myself motivated, getting up still pretty early. I get up around 7 to 8. I stay in bed for a little bit. I actually I do a little bit of like journaling, or like, I guess you can say kind of note taking in terms of like video ideas, what I want to do today. Just to keep myself on track on a daily routine. That really, really helps. And I think you guys should do it as well. Before we start anything, or before we start the whole vlog or anything, or how I kind of deal with the quarantine, I want to kind of take you guys back to when quarantine wasn't a thing, when the virus was kind of on the low and everything was perfectly fine. And I'm going to just take you guys through it, and then we'll kind of come back to right now. So yo, y'all already know we gotta start this day off right with some goddamn Tim Hortons mug. Cause I'm Canadian. Oh, they got the roll up the rim bag.
Yeah, how's cute?
Hi, could I get a medium French vanilla?
Okay.
And could I also get a medium regular?
Okay.
And that's it. Thank you.
Coronavirus!
Thank you. Have a good one.
Cute.
You know what a good friend always does? A good friend drinks his best friend's coffee, only to make sure that it's first.
Coronavirus!
Some good coffee, yo. Actually, it's not even coffee, it's French vanilla. If you guys consider French vanilla coffee, don't talk to me. Oscar's theme, so like anything kind of simple. Well, this is French vanilla.
Yeah, not that
my coffee ass.
Now that I think about it, I might just have like some couple that went to Oscars, and then I can wear what the guy wore, and she can wear what the girl wore.
But like, you gotta check right now.
Where are we gonna find clothes like the Oscars? At Bramley City Center.
H&M, bro.
Bramley City Center, bro.
H&M. Like, why?
Coronavirus!
Yo, we're gonna die. Oh, some guy in USA died from coronavirus yesterday.
That was the first case.
That was the first case. 2020, what? The 2020 has started off nicely.
No, it didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Sarcastic comment. Holy shit, we almost went to war. Coronavirus is killing all of us. Like, what the 2020,
Coronavirus, war, Kobe Bryant,
oh, fuck.
Pop Smoke. I never really listened to him, but he was 20 years old. He died. Who died right? Juice WRLD died right before 2020. Bro, I'm telling you. Well, what is March gonna be, bro? I don't know, man. It's the rough start.
is scared of going to school, bro. 11 cases in just Ontario, you know, just Toronto. March. Let's see. Hopefully something good happens this year.
Is Finch West Station.
Anyways, I had to come here. I had to get a few things out of my locker, some projects, models, huge ass posters that are worth like $60-$70. So I didn't want it to go to waste because we have a few days to take out all the stuff, and then they're actually gonna throw everything out here. And as you can see, literally everybody's gone. I can do my projects from home, but fourth year students have thesis projects, right? And those are huge projects. You can like, they have huge awards and things for it, and they were gonna have a huge this thing called Grad X, which got canceled, which I feel really bad for. There's like 1 or 2 thesis students working here. The rest are probably at home. The only reason I came here is to get everything out of my locker. Now I'm about to go straight home. 2-3 weeks is all it took, right? Give it 2-3 weeks more. We're gonna get through it. Don't worry about it. Anyways, I'm gonna go home. Alright, so as you guys probably guessed, first thing that I really need to take care of, especially during quarantine, and you guys as well, is physical activity. Ever since quarantine, well, I knew this trail kind of existed before quarantine because I've been living here for so long, but I never really took the advantage of it, and now I'm really taking the advantage of it, taking a walk. I count my steps daily, and because I went all the way downtown, my steps were like around 6,000, which it should be, but recently they haven't been, so I've been taking a lot of walks, and honestly it's really refreshing. Like the sounds of water, like just being around nature, it's really important for you, especially the sun as well. It's so important for you guys. You don't understand. Vitamin D is actually really important. Your skin will start, I'm not even joking. But physical activity has been something that I've been taking a lot more seriously this year, and going on walks, it just makes you feel a lot more refreshed around the evening time, especially because there's not a lot of people, as you can see here, at all. And honestly, I just really enjoy it. I like the peacefulness, I like nature, I like the birds and how they chirp and everything. And as weird as that sounds, it's so calming, it's so peaceful, and it's away from people, so social distancing works and physical activity, so it's a 2-in-1. Alright, I think I might end up going home soon, but I just got one last thing to talk about, and that is your eating habits. I think the hardest thing about quarantine is controlling your eating habits, especially because you're home all day, you have nothing better to do, right? So I feel like the best thing you can do, or the best thing that I did in order for me to stop eating a lot, especially my first week of quarantine, was I started making that daily schedule, that daily routine. What that does is it restricts you from thinking about what you want to eat next versus what you really need to do during your day. And so making that schedule, making that daily task of what you want to do is going to help you, because it's going to take your mind off of eating and putting it into somewhere else. So try that. If it works, you can thank me. If not, I'm sorry, but that's just what worked for me. You guys can try it. Other than that, I think I'm gonna go home now. I got one last thing to talk about, which really keeps me going during quarantine. And so, why don't I just go home and then we talk about it, right? You ready? Alright, you guys. Just took a shower, came back from the walk, and I worked out a little bit. Not too much, just for like an hour. But I was about to come and back home and just start working on one of my projects. It's the hotel project. So it's located at King and Spadina right now. It's like meant for something else right now. It's not a hotel, so we have to turn it into a hotel. And it's like, it's honestly been such a hassle, especially because of this quarantine stuff. I'm working with a group, and it's just getting really hard. Yo, what's up? Are you gonna show them the painting? Yeah, bro, I'll show them, yo. Alright, we'll just. I know you made it, but I'll show them. Alright, bet. Cool. I call him Sing. Got this new painting. You can't tell me that's fire. Bro, that's fire. That's fire. I'm like super excited about it. Sing thinks he made it. I don't know why he thinks he made it, but got it off Amazon. So. Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted, basically we're working on this hotel right now. It's me and Vera. It gets difficult sometimes because like the communication, whatever. But honestly, we make it work. And we've been doing really good. Like we've already done all the plans, elevation sections, all the drawings we really need to do about it. I've been working on this right now. I'm just kind of completing the elevations right now. Here, why don't I show you guys? Vera is basically working on the Revit files, and I'm working on all the CAD files. Because in real life, you're gonna have to work in a lot of groups. So this is actually a really good thing that we're dealing with, especially with the quarantine. It's been working really well. She's been working on Revit files, I've been working on CAD files, and she's basically sending them over, and I'm just putting a little bit of Photoshop in. If you guys ever have any projects like this where you need to add a little bit of, pizzazz or whatever you want to call it, Photoshop is a great way of doing it. I know a lot of people use Illustrator as well. I'm not really comfortable with Illustrator. I'm more of a Photoshop guy, but I'll show you guys an example of how Photoshop really helps. This right here is a Revit file that Vera sent me. So this is just an elevation from the south of the building, and this looks pretty good, right? Like you see the shading and everything. She's even got like the measurements. She got a little title block. It looks really good. But why she sent it to me was because I can turn it into this. Now that looks even better. So what that does is I've basically added small little buildings, and I've changed the opacity really low. What it makes it's like an illusion, as if it's really far behind and it's not really up in front of you. Because if I change the opacity to super high, now that looks good, but a lot of the focus ends up going to that one too as well, right? And we really want to focus on this one. So what we do is we change the opacity much more lower, and that adds the effect of there are buildings there, but the main focus is our building right here. Anyways, that's what I've been working on, and it honestly makes a huge difference. Like if you compare the two, without Photoshop, with Photoshop, without Photoshop, with Photoshop. With Photoshop is the way to go. Just doing small things like this, it'll really make a huge impact in your whole project. And once I put this all together, it's gonna look super good. Vera did a really good job with the Revit. I'm not much big fan of a Revit. I'm not much big fan. I sound like a fob. I'm not a big fan of Revit. Like I've used it, but Vera has a lot more experience with it, and I'm really good with CAD. So I kind of stick to what I'm good at, and she sticks to what she's good at, especially during this time, because this is the time that we really need the project to be really good. So the practicing can come afterwards, but right now we need to be on task, and it's looking really good, honestly. Alright y'all, so I'm just gonna finish my yogurt right now. I got a little bit of work to do. So right now it's about 6 o'clock p.m. I'm just gonna work a little bit, finish my yogurt, and then I'll tell you guys the third and final thing that's really important and crucial for quarantine. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, this is my last time trying this. I've tried this like 10 times, but it's not coming out right away. But the last and final thing that I wanted to talk about was spending more time on the things that you really experience a lot of flow. Now, flow is something that I learned in school, and it's really true. You basically get or are in flow when you really put your mind into something, and you legit just forget about time. Things that you tend to, put your time into and you experience flow are the things that you should focus a lot more on, because that's just telling you that you have big passion for it. And if you do, then trust me, you just want to practice every now and then. Especially now that you're on quarantine, you have no more excuses, right? At the end of the day, like I seen this post on Instagram, hold on. Basically says, if you don't come out with this quarantine with new skills, your side hustle started, more knowledge, you never lack time, you lack discipline. And I remember making a whole video on discipline. So if you guys haven't checked that video out, feel free to check it out. It's not time that we lack, it's the fact that we make excuses and we're not disciplined. And now is the perfect time for you guys to start anything that you've been wanting to start, anything that you guys have been wanting to do. And one thing that I've really been trying to do is step up my whole video game. And by video game, I don't mean like video games, but like recording and that type of thing. So I've literally just been going out and just recording different stuff and just putting different effects on it. But that's the final thing, guys. Put more time into things that you experience flow, where you just forget about time, that whether it's music, whether it's drawing, whether it's video editing, whether it be anything that you experience flow, try your hardest to try to put as much effort into it right now, especially because we're in quarantine. Nothing's stopping you, right? Nothing's stopping you anymore. You got no more excuses. You have time. That's one thing everybody always lacks. And I remember I stopped recording because I lacked time. I lacked time management. That was my biggest excuse. And that's why I've been trying to, put my mind more into things that I love. And it's really been filmmaking. And I always thought to myself, why filmmaking out of everything? Because it was so random. To me, in the beginning, I thought it was super random. But I realized that my dad used to do a lot of filmmaking when I was younger. If you guys didn't know, the videos that I used to make in high school were either filmed on my phone or, well, I gotta bring this is crazy. Y'all do not understand. So this was my dad's first ever camera, I guess you can say. These are like one of those old school, like this was where it was at. And I still remember my dad would film like even us just going to Toronto Zoo, or even simple things like just a birthday party, right? But I realized that filmmaking was always around me in my childhood. And that's probably why I started catching up onto it. But like you start from this and then you end up with this, and it's just a huge process that you go through throughout your life. But at the end of the day, guys, even though it's such a negative time in the whole world right now, try to think about the positive, try to think about the good in everything, and really use your time wisely right now to perfect on things that you love doing, that you experience flow. And trust me, you're not going to regret it. And it's going to take a lot of your day out, and you're not going to be bored, and you're actually going to be doing things that you love. So yeah, guys, that's basically it, and that's what I wanted to kind of end the video off with. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And although it's really hard to make videos right now because there's nobody around me, it's more of just like what I do on the daily. So if I come up with another video about quarantine, I might. I'm not 100% sure, but that's all I got for you today, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, that's basically it. Peace out.